Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Robert Smirking Gun Reviews, and we're back with more of the Road to Avengers Endgame reviews. We are up to Marvel's The Avengers. So, full spoilers if you haven't seen this movie. It still seems also quaint now. You know, the beginnings of all this leading up to this first big, never before ever big team-up movie. It seems quaint, seeing it all, how simple this was, that it was just this kind of, how do we get them all to come together without being, too much of a movie. And with Joss Whedon at the helm, I mean, it changed how they were going to make these movies from here on out, too, with having him attached. The overall sense of, I think, the lightheartedness of the MCU, I think, lighter tone at least, really gets established pretty hard in this movie quite a bit, I think. I also like that they did give everybody something to do in this movie, even if, Hawkeye still is kind of just a secondary character. I also like that they fixed the problem that I had with Thor's eyebrows in his movie, how you couldn't even see them half the time. I also like the stuff with Coulson in here, and I mean, now that we watch, you watch all these movies over again, you know how smart it was for them to have him be kind of this through line, so that you just quietly get used to him being around, so that way in this movie when he dies, it means something, because you've been watching this guy through every single movie just about. Yeah, through all of them. All the way back to Iron Man, he showed up. So, and it's cool with Clark Gregg, who just gives it up, plays it honest. His love for Captain America, and with the cards, and his earnestness about what they do. Even to how he's able to stand up against Loki, even though it's for nothing, really. He just stalled him, but his death was kind of a scripted death. Like, they needed somebody to die to motivate them even harder in the end. Watching this now, I can see why this, it was hard to believe that there would be anything bigger or better than this. But now, in retrospect, aside from the things that will always be classic about this, besides just in general it being the first movie like this of its kind, I'm talking about Hulk punching Thor moment. There's a bunch of those in here, but the overall story compared to where we're at now is, again, just so quaint. It's just Loki bringing a whole army from the other side of the universe. It's old hat now, so it's just kind of like you watch this and you go, ah. And it is cool that Tom Hiddleston still really owns this character of Loki. I love how in the scene where they had to get the guy's eyeball, the joy that he had on his face when he was causing chaos and havoc when he's taking the guy's eye, and he's just got this look of, everybody's running from me. He's getting what he wants, his attention, I'm a big person here. I love how he plays that in this. I also love that as soon as Thor and Loki meet, that whole scene just changes the tone of the movie for a second and do kind of a very Shakespearean play situation. The dialogue between Thor and Loki is very much, old school Shakespeare, and like RDJ says when he calls him Shakespeare in the Park. I just love how they balance the different tones of all the movies to bring their style just a little bit into this big cohesive thing that could have just fallen apart completely. I like that we establish more about Black Widow and how we don't know what she's really capable of. What's the limit for her? her character just keeps revealing new kind of layers to it that just make you think how much stronger is she that we don't already know. Like the strength that she is able to exude in these movies is pretty cool. Cap is just Cap. Just genuine and honest. I mean, he figures out Loki's plan like right away. He calls you. He's like, he's only here because he wants to be, and he just wants to cause chaos. Like, and here we are. Like, and they still fall right into the trap. But I like that at least Cap was like going, this is what's gonna happen. RDJ. This is in this movie. It was where I started to kind of not like Tony Stark as much in this. And I don't know what it is, but I think it was just his attitude towards Steve. Like the way they wrote him to be kind of snarky. And they were both snapping at each other, but it just, I don't know. There's just something special about, like later on when they say that they're friends, right? Or like Tony says, hey man, I thought we were friends or whatever. I don't know if Cap ever established to Tony that they were friends. But I just feel like, just like in the comic, I mean, they get along because they need to get along. And that I don't think that these characters have ever really liked each other that much. I mean, depending on who's writing it and what they need for the story, I still feel like Cap and Stark are just, two opposites that are never going to completely like each other. Just like Batman and Superman, like. I think that's their relationship is kind of comparable. I do think that there's just enough Hulk. I love when Ruffalo scares Romanoff at the beginning when he pounds on the table and that look that she gives where, she just goes into kill mode. Like her not shooting him even though it would do no good. But that look in her face, like where she just turns it on like instantly is great. Sam Jackson and Kobe Smulders, like I like Kobe Smulders as Maria Hill. She's still just not quite on the same level as I see Maria Hill in my head and on the page. Maria Hill is a hard ass motherfucker. Hate her or love her, she will do just about anything like Nick Fury would to get what she wants. And Kobe Smulders she's had moments where she's been cool, but she's never been like the hard ass Maria Hill that's been in the books. And so I just feel like unless they can give her something where she is harder or make the actress give a harder performance, she'll never quite get there. But still, it's still pretty good casting. I like that we get more of Skarsgård in here as Selvig. I like how they explain how Jane doesn't have to be in this movie, but Pepper Potts does. Let's see, what else do we have in this movie? Alexis Denisof from all of Joss Whedon's projects practically. He played Wesley on Buffy and Angel. He's the creature of like the Stranger or whoever is working with Loki and the Chitauri and Thanos and all that. It's really weird that that's him. It's like Joss Whedon's like, hey Alexis, we've been working together for a long time and I've got you in this movie for the Avengers. What do you think? Yeah, that's great. I can't believe I'm going to be in a Marvel movie. What am I going to play? Well, you're not even going to be able to tell it's you. And we're going to put all this prosthetic and makeup stuff on your face, but you're still going to get the credit. You're going to be able to say that I was in Avengers, just nobody's going to know ever that it was you. So, nice. And then, of course, we have the whole thing at the end with the whole smile of Thanos' face at the end, and was that the middle of the credits, and then we have the shawarma scene and all that stuff. I still love, one of the greatest shots in all of these movies is when Hulk just turns and hits the freaking monster. I have a Nintendo Mario or Nintendo Luigi t-shirt where Luigi's punching a bullet bill just like Hulk punches that thing. That's just so cool though. I mean, the whole I'm always angry, just boom, hitting that thing so hard. So that's about it. I mean, it still really holds up. It's still really, really entertaining. it is definitely a movie that I'll continue to watch periodically throughout the rest of my life. And I know that people have a problem with Age of Ultron, but I just don't have it like other people do. And so I like Age of Ultron better than this. But when this came out, it was hard to imagine anything being bigger or better than this. It was just like, there's no way, there's no way. But then the movies themselves, the single movies would come out and they'd be just about as strong as this movie. You know, like when you walk out and you're just like, shit. You know, I don't know. So anyway, that's it for this review for this one. The next one we've got is Iron Man 3. That's coming up. So if you like this review, though, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. I'm sure there's tons of things I missed, but I've got a lot of stuff to do today. Because we've got the Lego Movie 2 review that I'm doing after this. And then The Walking Dead mid-season premiere is tonight. Whether that's going to be a good review or a bad review, I don't know. It's going to be an honest one. So if you want to check that out, that'll be up pretty shortly after the episode of that airs as well. So anyway, this is Rob for Smirking Gun Reviews saying have a great night, and we will see you on the next Road to Avengers video or whatever other video you choose to watch. All right, thanks. Bye.